Good morning. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning. This is your home girl, Arabia Barbosa, 914, Westchester County, New York. We still in South Carolina. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Yo, yesterday was quite an experience, you guys. It was quite an experience. Yesterday, they had me working at a job site where we was next door to the homeless shelter. We was next door to the homeless shelter. And basically only thing we had to do for that particular building or for that particular work site was to go in and remove all the trash and debris from off the grounds and in the building. And yesterday was kind of like bittersweet because I remember a few years ago me being at that same homeless shelter and the trials and tribulations I had to go through while I was there. And basically, that was around the time I first started doing videos. Not live videos, but like uploads and stuff like that. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, I came a long way from those particular days. So, as you can see, the title of this video is Jumatano. Jumatano. Jumatano is a Swahili phrase, and I'm saying it's Wednesday. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Jumatano. Wednesday. So happy Wednesday to everyone. Happy hump day to everyone. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. And when I got home yesterday, I took me a shower and I made me some food. I ate and then I watched the YouTube streets. And we saw that brown skinned lady was live yesterday doing her video. Shout out to brown skinned lady. And quite a few other YouTube creators were live while she was live. Shout out to them. So it is what it is. And I'm not gonna be up here that long because I gotta get ready to get back on the bus and go back downtown and try to see what's gonna happen today because we did not get a repeat ticket for that particular job. See, I knew we was gonna work ourselves out of a job. The only thing left to do yesterday, everyone, was to remove the trash from the second floor. They were supposed to bring the machine up with the trash box, and we were supposed to put the trash in there so it could be removed from the building. So that was the only thing we had left to do for that particular day. So no one got a repeat, and we all have to start fresh this morning. So in a little while, I'll be getting on the bus and going back downtown. So shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. I know it's kind of early for me to even be up, for me to even be going live, for me to even be saying anything. But look, I've been up since 1:48 this morning and I cannot get back to sleep. So I'm going to get myself prepared and ready to get out of here. At least by 5 o'clock, I should be done with everything. So it is what it is. I tell you guys. But yesterday was like bittersweet for me because I remember being at that shelter. I remember being a resident of that shelter. And the shelter was different back then. It that shelter really it serves the veterans. The veterans live on the third floor. The men, the regular men, everyday or working man, they live on the bottom floor of that building. And then in the next building, there is a female dorm. It's a female dorm. And I do believe some of the females there do have children. So that is a shelter that services families. They service families, veterans, and single individuals. That is who they service. They always provide lunch between 1 and 1:30 every day. They provide lunch between 1 and 1:30 every day in the afternoon. And then there's another spot down the street. They also serve lunch. And then we got the church, Sisters of Mercy, that serve lunch as well. So yesterday was a reminder for me of my homeless position that I was in a few years ago. That is what it was for me. It was a reminder. It was a reminder of my past struggles and how I failed myself, but I was able to get over that. I was able to move past that. And as I was working across the street from the shelter, I kept thinking about everyone I met there. What happened after I left that shelter? What kind of jobs I had while I was there? The shelter program over there is very different from what it was when I was there. When I was there, they encouraged people to get jobs. They encouraged people to attend meetings. They encouraged people to go out in the community and, try to, help out the community. It's different now. It's totally different. Everything's different now. The whole setup is different. Even the staff are different. Even the staff are different. So I didn't recognize anyone there, but I do recognize the place. I do remember living in a dormitory with other women. I remember the bunk beds. I remember the shower area. I remember the cafeteria. I remember what they used to serve for breakfast every morning. I remember what they used to serve for lunch every afternoon. And I do remember what they used to serve for dinner. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. And it is what it is. Back in that time, I used to be on food stamps. Now I don't even qualify for food stamps. I don't even qualify for food stamps. But the food stamp program basically is for people that are struggling with their life circumstances to do something about it, to move in different directions. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Good morning. Thank you for coming in. Good morning, Frank. Thank you for coming in. Yeah. And we got some ghost watchers in the chat. Shout out to everyone. Good morning. Good morning. So yesterday was just a reminder. And I keep trying to remind myself I'm one paycheck away from repeating what happened. And this time, there is no Birdman. This time, things are different. Most of my friends are no longer here no more. Some that are still living are scattered. I know not where they are. I know not where they are. Some people moved away. Some people moved from out of this area that I live in now. Shout out to the chat. Because I'm living in an area where they call it the Macon. This is the Macon. So after I got off the bus yesterday and came home, I went in a different direction. I didn't go in the direction I usually go, like if I want to go to the store or anything, because I had already went to the Family Dollar and bought whatever I was going to eat, and then I came home. I had no desire to do anything else. I had no desire. Only thing I wanted to do was to get in this house, take me a shower, relax myself, fix me something to eat, and sure enough, I ended up going to sleep. And I slept and I slept. I'm a heavy sleeper. Shout out to the chat. But yesterday was a reminder. It was a reminder for me just to see the people sitting outside at the bench tables, communing with each other, talking with each other, being social with each other. And then it was also a reminder of how I used to go to the soup kitchens and get food, how I used to go to the pantries and get food, how I used to go to the clothing thrift stores and pick up a few pairs of pants or a checkered shirt or a button down. That was a reminder. But today, the people that was with me back then are no longer around. When Birdman told me, he said, Arabia, we are the last two standing. Now that he's gone, I'm the last man standing. I'm the only one left. The only one left. And things are changing. Life is just lifing. Let's put it like that. Life is lifing. And you got to move with the time. You got to move. Nothing stays the same. Change is constant. Change is constant. So I got to get ready to get out of here. And then I'm start getting myself together at least by 4 o'clock, 4:30. So by a quarter to 6, I'll be standing at the bus stop, ready to go, ready to get on another ticket. And then this afternoon, I got to go to another spot and talk to a hiring manager for another job. I got to move from doing these temporary jobs. I've been doing it too long. And this is the best time for me to do retail because here we come on the holiday season. First it's going to be Halloween. Then it's going to be Thanksgiving. Then it's going to be Christmas. Then it's going to be the New Year's. Shout out to the chat. And before I know it, I will have another birthday. I will be older. Older. Not younger. Older. But yesterday was an eye opener. Yesterday was a reminder You know what I mean? I looked at that building and I said, oh my God, I was just here a few years ago. And then it just started raining. While we was out there picking up trash in the parking lot across the street from the shelter, it just started raining. It just came out of nowhere. First a few drops, then the rain just came out of nowhere. You know what I ended up doing? I ended up taking a trash bag, putting a hole on the top and on the sides, and slipping that thing on like it was a raincoat. I said, oh no. But the rain did not last forever. I remember a saying that I used to hear when I was younger. And this too shall pass. And this too shall pass. My sister used to always say, soon come. Why does she always used to say that? Soon come. I think she said she learned that from the Jamaicans or whatever. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, but I'm not gonna be here that long. I just want to come through, say good morning to everyone, and teach everyone a new Swahili word phrase, and it means Wednesday. That's the title of this video. So shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. I hope everyone has an awesome day. Be safe. Be aware. And there is a report that there's a hurricane headed towards North Carolina. People are evacuating. People are leaving their homes because this hurricane storm it's coming. It's coming. And then someone else told me about another hurricane storm that's over there by Puerto Rico, but I'm going to have to check my news reporting of the weather for Puerto Rico because they said there is a hurricane down there. And anytime there's a hurricane over there around the Puerto Rico area, it always hits South Carolina. It always hits South Carolina. So today is my day to make my money, to stock up on what I need to stock up on, and let life keep lifing. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. This is your homegirl, Barbosa, aka the BT 1000, aka the Jeeper Creeper on this shit, aka Lucy the Vampire, aka the German Shepherd in the goddamn room. Peace, y'all. Have an awesome day. One.